Hey guys, welcome back to Sauce Inspectors. It's Head Inspector Ham Salad, back with another inspection. We're hitting up, let me count it, 5 things this time. And we got a kind of order to go through them and based on
increasing consent.
So let's get right into it. Now we're starting off. We have something called Cashew Emma? Cashew Enema? Kachiku. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I don't know how to speak fucking Japanese. I've said this before, but this shit would be pretty good. Otherwise, but it's got a fucking kid in it. It's the protagonist is like a fucking 12-year-old boy. So it's like exponential points off. This would otherwise be good. The female protagonist is thick as shit, but getting dominated by a fucking minor makes this certified not sauce inspector approved. 2 out of fucking 10. The only thing worse would be actual child porn, but this is actually still illegal in the United States, theoretically. So do not download this. And if you're physically attracted to minors, maybe go see a psychotherapist. Now, the second thing we have to review is called the Fall of the Public Morals Committee President. It's actually misspelled president? I don't know how the fuck you managed to fuck that up, but to be honest, if you came to a porn website for proper English, especially a Japanese porn website, you're probably barking up the wrong fucking tree. Guess what? It's NTR. It's the best kind of NTR. It doesn't really need to be NTR, but the author decided to add somebody so you could just if you don't have any love in your life and you constantly feel like people are cheating, this is the one for you, type NTR. But we have the typical Public Morals Committee girl with huge gazongas, who's like an inherent sex pest type of thing going on. She ends up squirting over someone's Wii U, or the Wii U 2.0, I guess that's what you call the Switch, and ruins it. And so he's like, what the fuck, it's covered in cum juice. And she's like, oh, well, blah, 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 we have sex. And then she gets addicted to it, and then, it has to have, the negative ruin your life thing instead of the normal, the really attractive girl just dates the popular guy and has, a semi-normal relationship, which could be bad young, but, a lot of young people have bad relationships. So, I guess the average Japanese relationship does technically have some form of domestic violence, so I guess it's not too far off the mark. But he might be better because he's just a sex fiend rather than punching her in the fucking face. So this gets a 6, 7 out of 10 because the art is pretty good, and the only reason the guy is the guy's not even really getting NTR'd because he's not dating her, he's just around and he won't confess to her. But she squirted on someone's Nintendo Switch, so it's pretty funny, so it does get a pretty high score. Alright, so the next thing I got to review is Toho Project. Do you know what Toho Project is? I really fucking don't know what it is, and I need to Google it because I see it all the time on here. And I'm going to be really upset if it's awful and I actually click in and look at it. And I understand these references and it pisses me the fuck off. But the title of this is Yugi and an Orc Locked in Battle. And I guess you can infer quite a few things from this. Actually, something you may have noticed is the scale of legal consent is actually going up as the video progresses. So this lady is getting sexually assaulted by a fucking, I guess I don't need because I just bleeped it out because I know this is going to get demonetized. So if I say it's not as bad because she actually likes it, so it's not as bad as the last 2 because they didn't involve getting blackmailed into the thing, and there's also not a fucking child involved. But yeah, the protagonist is thick as a fucking brick and shredded. She's got some quad father thighs. They look much better than his though, big everywhere. And the orc is the stereotypical fucking orc. Bro's fucking slanging. He's got an ICBM Hellfire 12 down there going crazy. And this one ends better than it starts as far as consent goes. and the commenced fucking is pretty good. So all ends well in this world. If you don't like things with dubious consent, then you probably don't like hentai. And this is a fantasy thing that ends better than it starts as far as consent goes. And the fucking is good. And the art is good. So I'm going to say it's the best shit I've seen on here so far. So it's going to get an 8 out of 10. Story. You remember how I said the consent's getting better as things goes on? Well, that's only from the female perspective, because in this one, she blackmails the guy, and luckily for her, when she's sexually assaulting him, he gets mad, and you have like a domination loss type situation, and the missile does not know where it is, but he ends up finding out that she likes him back, and I guess they start dating. There's another story where this happens, and it's much fucking crazier, and to be honest, it's far better looking. And I know I've only compared this to another fucking story, but it's still pretty good. It's got major, like, Black Mirror elements of being, like, super grim and dark, and everyone gets raped all the time. And it's like a Stockholm Syndrome energy situation. But, you know, it's a bit less fucking illegal than everything else I've covered. And the guy's not ugly and the art's pretty good. So this is watchable, and, if you like this, maybe you need to go outside a bit more. But I'll give this an 8 out of 10, damn near 9. 8.5 out of 10.
You're a machine.
And we saved the best for last, everyone. In this gave consent. It's got a pretty good art. The girl in this looks kind of like Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter, but Kurapika is kind of bad, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie. If there's like a female Kurapika on here, and I'd never pull anything like that in my life, is all I'm saying. I'm not sure if the viewer would hit, but sheesh, this one's more feminine looking at least, and no cock. So imagine you're the fucking main character, right? I hope that fucking crinkling of a pop chart doesn't show up. Imagine you're the main character. You get into Japanese Princeton on an academic scholarship, and you're like, things are alright. But one girl treats you like absolute shit, and she's the daughter of Shinzo Abe, back when he was still alive. So now you have to go and eat a bag of dicks every day at school. Every day's fucking awful. You hate your life. Well, imagine her big titty hot maid pulls up to you and is like, you know what'll make your life better? If you suck and fuck every day. And that's pretty much the plot of this. And you know what? It's gonna have a part 2 or something. They set it up like a part 2, and look forward to the sauce inspector giving an inspection on that, because this shit is a certified 9 out of 10. The plot doesn't make my brain catch on fire. It also doesn't make my brain want to jump out of my body. There's nothing illegal. Everyone's consenting. It's kind of like the perfect antidote for all the fucking weird shit I've been seeing. It's the happy medium, and there's like a future threesome that could be happening in the works. So, you know, if you need something to cook, man, it's something that will cook. Now, I've been trying out a new style in this video. I'm not sure if it's working out, but this should be pretty quick and a lot easier to put out. So, hey, if this comes out as fast as I think it will, you might see more from the Sauce Man in the coming future. A lot more. But not a lot more of me personally, like illegally. You know, no asshole photos, but like videos. I'm brain dead. Anyways.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.